Hey everyone, I'm Vincent.
And I'm Jonathan.
And we are the Anthony and Todd Show. And today we're covering my absolute favorite segment we do here on the Anthony and Todd Show, our playlist segment, where we go over the previous month's best tracks, and we say what we like about them. Are they good tracks? Do they smell nice? Do they feel things? Do they have emotions? Or are they unsentient, worthless garbage? We discuss all these things here on the Anthony and Todd Show. So, Jonathan, you're breaking your playlist cherry here.
That was a phrasing.
How does it feel to be on the playlist segment? Are you glad to go over these fresh?
I feel like the first time I drank.
Depressed?
Yes. But excited.
Excited, but it's not anything special.
It's like, I'm doing this new thing. I'm already sad. Maybe this will help. And then it doesn't.
Anyway, we're talking about the best tracks of March 2019. And me and Jonathan, not me and Trev this time. I wanted to switch it up.
Trevor's dead.
No, dead to me because he didn't like this Kirin J. Callinan track we're talking about later, but he didn't like it. He's a nerd. But let's get into these tracks. Starting off, alphabetical, Anderson .Paak has a new track, King James, from his new album Ventura, Ace Peck Detective.
I really hope he makes a reference to that movie somewhere in that album. If he doesn't, I might just stop listening to him.
But this new single is it's kind of disappointing in a sense because I don't think the track's bad by any means, but it's more a throwback to Malibu than it is a throwback to Oxnard.
Yeah, it's something we've heard before a lot, and it doesn't show any like progression and evolution.
Because while I think it's still a great soul,
great song,
great soul revival track. I think Anderson .Paak, with his previous line of singles, all that he released last year with tracks like Bubbling, Temps, Who Am I, all were very big surprises for him and his character, and they surprised me a lot. And this it's what I expected him to do. I think this is more like an album cut than it is anything else. I'm really excited for this album, though, because
it's more Anderson.
It's more Anderson .Paak. I hope he put enough time and effort into it, and I hope this is the project he was working on with the Free National, so we get to see what that evolution was. But yeah, has Andre 3000 apparently on a feature, also Nate Dogg, so I'm really excited to see what it is, and I hope he puts more effort into the diversity of sounds like he did for Oxnard, throw in some trap, some jazz rap, just kind of going all over the place with his sounds, and I hope we don't get just this one track.
Yeah, I hope it's just not Malibu.
And I also wish there was more evolution to the themes that he's covering, because even Oxnard suffered with that, Malibu suffered with that. Just sometimes there's a little bit too much, and sometimes I feel like you just need some better narrative themes to guide you through. But yeah, I still like this track, and I think it's good.
Good song.
After this, Angelique Kidjo has 2 new tracks off her forthcoming Celia project, Quimbara and Bemba Colora. I probably said those terribly because I can't speak English, yet alone other languages.
You probably did better than I would, so.
Yeah. Angelique Kidjo, African pop diva. She released a fantastic cover album of Talking Heads Remain in Lights last year. And it's even a shame to call it a cover album because she takes
better than the Talking Heads.
Some of the tracks. I wouldn't say all the tracks. But
there's some tracks that are just like miles ahead of the
Talking Heads. What is it? Earth. What is it called? Earth. Shit. I can't think of it.
Earth shit?
No.
I think that's called Dirt.
Fuck you. Of the Great.
No, just Houses in Motion is a...
Houses in Motion is a track.
Yeah.
It's the Great Curve.
You're thinking of the Great Curve.
Yeah, Great Curve is the one that's actually superior to the actual version. I think
miles.
And Overseer, because she isn't trying to make like a Joy Division track.
Yeah.
Out of like reviews of what a Joy Division track is.
Actually hearing a Joy Division track.
But yeah, these new tracks are coming from a forthcoming project where she's now paying tribute to Cuban singer Celia Cruz. So I'm really excited because it's something I really don't know about. I really like the groove of these tracks. They actually have Tony Allen on drums. I think last time we saw Tony Allen, he was on the Good, the Bad, and the Queen record, Damon Albarn's side project last year. So I'm really excited to see what this project is. The second track here sounds a lot like a Sons of Kemet track. The layering, how they're all kind of stacked as one unit. Sounds like there's 2 drummers in the track, and I just love the background tuba, the front trumpet. I think it works out really well, and I think I'm really excited for this project because it seems like Angelique makes covers her own, and while I do not know essentially the source material of these 2 tracks. I'm really excited to see what she does because she always makes it her own style.
Yeah.
The Big Wireless Love, if you don't know the original version, she improves it and makes it her own, so you have differences if you eventually go hear the later tracks.
Yeah. I'd say with the second one, I do know the first song, like, the original, like, was it Quimbara or something like that? I do know the original a little bit, and it's not that different. It does flex her insane vocal capabilities. Instrumentally, it's a little pretty much kind of by the numbers cover.
Yeah.
But it still showcases her immense talent, and I'm sure the rest of the album is going to be, like, amazing.
Yeah. Moving on to that, to Beast Coast. Beast Coast is the New York rap collective made up of Flatbush Zombies, Michi Darko, Zombie Juice, Eric Arc Elliot, Pro Errors, Joey Badass, Nick Caution, Kirk Knight, and CJ Fly, plus the Underachievers, Issa Gold, and AK The Savior. This is like the largest collective since like Brockhampton. It seems like there's just 900 members, and I'm really excited because it seems like it's taken a lot from like the Flatbush Zombies sound, and Vacation in Hell was fantastic last year, and I just feel like having a bunch of different signs and a bunch of different collaborators would be well, because one of the things I really liked about the Flatbush Zombies record last year is it was long, but all the tracks were worth it, and it just seems like they're progressing better and better, and we're getting so many ideas. Even though there was 3 of them, it seems like there was a ton of ideas being thrown around, and having a collective of this stance, of this size, I feel like it's going to be the same way. This seems like a fantastic posse cut, and I'm just really excited. Saturated psychedelic hip hop, and I'm right excited to see where it goes in the future.
And they all seem to have really good chemistry, work well with each other. So
yeah, there's that camaraderie because you can see they're all growing up in like New York. Yeah, they're all New York artists.
Like you said, Brockhampton, I think that's a good like comparison. I feel like it's gonna have the same like energy and like grouping.
Yeah, and they're all gay.
I wish.
After that we got Black Keys, who return after I think since 2014 turned blue.
So they can beef with Jack White.
I hope that. I want to. We talked about this during our Yak review, how Patrick Carney almost fight Jack White in the club, and I hope we get some beef. I want some beef, even though it's pointless and stupid.
I just kind of want to see Jack White get his ass kicked for no real reason.
No,
I don't hate Jack White. I like him. I just kind of want to see him get his ass
I want to
kicked.
see the, what is their name? Raccooners?
The Raconteers.
Raccoonteers, because they have a new album coming out as well. I want to see them fight the Black Keys.
That'd be great.
Even though it's like a handicap match, because there's like 4-2.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, but one of the 4 is Jack White. It's more like 3-2.
He's like the main boss that you have to get to.
It's like one of those games where like it's building up the big bad so much, and then he's taken out in a cutscene by accident by his own hand. That is Jack White.
But this new track, it isn't their most, I guess, grimy kind of aesthetic, more DIY aesthetic like the Rubber Factory. But it's good. It's similar to what I expected on like El Camino, which I liked. El Camino is a fantastic pop rock album of the 2000s, and it cemented their legacy even more than records like the Rubber Factory did. And it seems like we're getting a decent amount of hits. It seems like we're going to be getting similar quantitude, because while I did enjoy El Camino, I did not enjoy the pace and tone of Turn Blue. So I hope we get a mix up. I hope it's exciting, and I hope they kind of go back to a throwback of even older sounds, so like stuff on the Rubber Factory. But yeah, I'm really excited. Dan Auerbach is back in form after kind of making dad rock the last couple of years, releasing an album back in 2017. So I hope this progresses more into exciting territory.
Yeah.
After that, we got Chicano Batman and Coloncho with Hablame. Chicano Batman, Chicano Batman, indie rock band, mix funk with Latin music and indie rock. They put out a terrific album in 2017 called Freedom is Free. Me and Trevor loved the shit out of that record. It's fantastic. Hits like Friendship is Small Boat in the Storm, Freedom is Free. But this new track, the collaboration they did for Caloncho on like a 7-inch, I'm really excited because it's a more playful rendition. Mm-hmm. It's more just kind of like, it's playful, but it's really loose. It seems, in a sense, like a throwaway, but it more showcases the character of Chicano Batman, at least stylistically, taking a rope that they wouldn't really go down.
Yeah, it's a fun song.
And this is what your 7 inches are for, and your like loose singles is just to have a chance to go out and do something a little bit different. So yeah, I'm excited. I hope they put out a record this year because I feel like they're due time for that. So I hope we get a record this year. I really want another record. I've been aching for some Chicano Batman. After that,
for that Batman,
the Batman, the Chicano Batman. After that, we get Christelle Bofale with Impala. I can't pronounce words. There's just so many words I cannot pronounce today.
I'm not even gonna fucking
try.
I
can't read again. I can't really read English, yet alone other languages. But she's kind of a tone of like a SZA, Solange. So if you like that kind of atmospheric, in a sense, large R&B, you definitely have a lot here. This track's 7 minutes, and it doesn't feel like it takes up the atmosphere of 7 minutes. Like it's easily glides you through. She's part of Father Daughter Records, and she has a new album on May 31st called Swim Team. And I'm really excited because I like this style of music, this aesthetic of R&B, just very graceful, easy moving. And it may take a while, but it doesn't. You don't notice that it takes a while.
Yeah,
that's what I really enjoy about this track. After that, we got Combo Chimbita with Ahomale, very nice Afro Caribbean rock. I'm really excited. I don't really have much to say because I'm more excited to see what this album is. If you're into world music and you want to listen to some Afro Caribbean rock, definitely check this out. Their new album's out May 3rd, and I'm really interested to see what's gonna be. After that, Truise has a new single, Existence.
Scientology Schematic.
After that, Truise has a new single, Existence Schematic. Truise, electronic producer who essentially takes the aesthetic of 80s music, essentially an 80s aesthetic, but isn't like musing it to the point where it's only about the 80s aesthetic. It's more of like a backdrop or kind of a location and time and place where you can place his music. And it's not more about that. It's more about the bounciness and the flowingness of these synths and how just everything breathes into one like large opus that's of technology, this natural, unnatural sort.
Yeah.
Yeah, I really enjoy his music. I liked his last album he put out in 2017, Iteration, and I hope he gives us another hit on May 17th with the title track with Precision System.
Yeah. Just good song. Only thing is, this one is like it sounded a lot familiar elements, a lot of things I'd heard a lot before in tech music. I just hope it's the full album, if there is a full album, is like a lot more expansive, a lot more diverse of its sound, and brings a lot more new stuff to the table.
Yeah. After that, this kind of came out in February, but an actual audio version, a Spotify version came out, so it's on the streaming services. Denzel Curry's cover of Bulls on Parade for AAA Leica version. Denzel Curry covering...
Rage Against the Machine.
Yeah,
I saw it coming.
It makes sense, because, like, knowing Curry's backdrop, it makes a lot of sense. His performance of this, it reminds me of, like, that one track on the Show Me the Body mixtape.
The one that he was on?
Yeah.
Fuck.
Yeah, but it reminds me a lot of that because I feel like he's going into...
Corpse? No. What was that fun?
I don't remember, but it reminds me a lot of that because I feel like he's going into a territory that's more like rock metal or rap metal, which would be interesting because I feel like if anyone can actually do good rap metal...
in 2019.
It would be him.
Yeah.
Because I feel like...
It makes me want to see Denzel Curry put out an entire like rap punk, rap rock, rap metal album.
Yeah, because while I like Taboo, I think probably some of the weaker aspects were some of the production. Because I feel like Curry's more interesting than a lot of production. He's older. It's only like when you have moments like Clout Cobain, that's the production's about similar in like interest to me. But like I feel like this would matching his performance with equal interesting production, I think would be cool.
And he can definitely carry the energy with it. I mean, like he went on tour with Show Me the Body, so like he clearly is comfortable in that world.
Yeah. Also, this seems like more of a proof of concept than anything, and how he adds. I think it's this verse from either Sirens or Perks.
He added the verse from
I swear it's Sirens or Perks. I swear it's one of those two tracks.
I think it's Sirens.
Yeah. And to the end, making it his own version. I feel like this was his proof of concept to see how people would be interested in this and if he's going to do something in the future. At least that's how it appears.
Only thing with throwing that verses, he didn't seem to change like his flow or delivery any from like the Taboo version.
Which I don't think it really needed to.
I don't think it needed to, but like I would have liked to see him like take this opportunity because like this wasn't a single. This was an album cut. This was him fucking around on like a show. Like to just take the opportunity to like play with his delivery a little bit and push it more towards like that element. That's just like a small critique on what's a really good cover.
Yeah. After that, we got Freddie Gibbs and Madlib with Bandana featuring Assassin. Kind of a left field track for them in a sense, because I'm taking a more like dub inspired, having Assassin with deep dub voice on the hook with the bandana bandana. Freddie Gibbs lyrically sharp as ever. Madlib still providing new production. This is not something I would consider like a Madlib type beat, but also I think any of the collaborations Madlib and Freddie have done yet would be considered Madlib type beats. He's always throwing us a curveball when he combines with Freddie, and I'm really interested in seeing where this goes. I don't really want to say too much about it because I know there's an album somewhere around the corner, so I hope we just get... I just hope it's coming. I know Bandana's coming out soon, so I'm really excited for it. After that, we got IDK with Trigger Happy. IDK, I don't know where to start with this. He just seems super disgruntled on this track. Like, this just seems like the natural conclusion to his Trippies freestyle last year after he was essentially denied a spot on the Double XL freshman list, and then Trippy just didn't show up. So this just seems like the natural conclusion. He seemed pretty disgruntled last year, but now it just seems like full frontal. Like, it seems real. Like, now he's not playing just because he was denied something. Now he's playing because he's just like, he's been like out of it. He's been forced out. He feels like he's on the edge. He feels like he's an outsider to hip hop, and now we're getting this very disgruntled, almost employee like resistance from him. And it's really interesting because it seems real.
It's me at work.
Yeah. It seems real. It seems like this is an actual thing. It's not just bravado. It's not braggadocio. It's actual anger and frustration being put into hip hop. And I feel like he's coming off as a very genuine person on this track. I like how he brings up his beef with Logic, which I think everyone should bring up their beef with Logic.
It's 2019. Who doesn't have beef with Logic on principle?
Apparently a lot of people.
Well, they're stupid.
I don't know how he keeps on getting collaborators. He just keeps on getting more like...
Blackmail.
What?
Blackmail. That's how he keeps getting collaborators.
Probably.
It's the only thing that makes sense anymore.
Like, I don't understand how he got a Gambino on a track like a couple years ago, but like, I think that's probably right.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
Gambino, what'd you do? Was it worth it? Was it worth it?
Yeah, I really like this IDK track. Very out of the blue release from him, and I'm really excited. Hope this comes out with an album. He put the last album out in 2017, I think. Had some fantastic tracks. One in particular, like an extended version that featured Doom and Del the Funky Homo Sapien. So I'm really interested to see if he releases something, because it seems like he has connections. So I hope it's fiery. I hope it brings on fire features. And the production on this was top notch. Not even to mention his vocal performances were actually really not only showcase character, but they actually were very solid on the hook. So I'm excited to see where he goes, because he seems like a genuine person, and we're getting actual genuine frustration being put on the track. Moving forward to the next track, we have Injury Reserve with Jailbreak the Tesla. Injury Reserve, new album on the way. We talked about their last single that they released a couple months ago, and they're back with Jailbreak the Tesla. In my opinion, not the best single they put out. I still think it's a great track, but it's
great production.
It has great production, but I also think it's kind of... It's ideas they toyed with before on Floss, like Eeny, Meeny, Miny, Mo, and some of the dark, brooding dark, brooding atmosphere they had on Driving Like It's Stolen. But for me, it's just not... It's good, but I wish there was more to it. I wish we got a Steppa verse. I feel like even replacing Steppa with Richie would have made the track more interesting to me, because we've seen this Amine... Richie with the T collaboration before. Like, we know what to expect off of the Fire track last year, or Campfire track last year, and I really wanted to see more from this. And really, the only thing that's like holding me tight is the Amina verse and the production. And I feel like Richie, he doesn't have a bad verse, but it's just like I've heard this in a sense. It's kind of this weird uncanny valley sense. It's just something's off here, and I just can't really tell what it is. But I'm excited for this album when it's coming out. I hope it's gonna be good. I'm just not super hot on the single as compared to everyone else who says it's fantastic. I think it's good, great production, but I just wish there was more, something different at least.
Yeah.
After that, Interpol actually surprisingly put out a good single after we were so just like meh on their last album, The Marauder. This is actually good. This track, Weekend. They actually put out a previous single back in January, which I thought it came out in like November. Apparently I was wrong. Apparently I just completely forgot this track existed and I didn't add it to the playlist of January. I probably should have because it's a really good track as well. But this new track, The Weeknd, what I wanted from Interpol in their last release: emotion, heart. It doesn't feel like it's just a bland B-side. There's spice, there's catchiness. Just all I wanted out of my indie rock that has that like 2000s, early 2000s era New York scene attached to it. This is all I wanted. I'm finally glad we're getting with this. They have a new EP coming out sometime this month. No, actually in May, called A Fine Mess. So I'm really hoping their new EP kind of takes hold of the things I kind of had a problem with on that album. Just all killer, no filler on this EP. That's what I'm praying for. I just want really catchy and moody indie rock. Moving forward with Jack Stauber's Micropop, baby, with 2 tracks, Baby Hotline and T Eras. Jack Stauber is a YouTuber and a lo-fi pop artist. He put out a fantastic record last year with High Low. And we're moving forward with this. The Micropop, the Micropop name comes from essentially taking short little YouTube clips, short little YouTube videos, and expanding them out into full tracks. And like previous tracks, like Hamantha and Tame, I've expanded them into like really weird art pop pieces that have these weird narratives to them at times, especially the track Hamantha. Even like going into these weird new soundscapes and worlds of sorts. These 2 new tracks are essentially the most, I think, annoyingly catchy we've heard Jack Stauber, especially with Baby Hotline, and I kind of appreciate for that because I feel like Baby Hotline, listening to the little snippet on its own, it's something that I feel like couldn't pass that like little 30-minute snippet, but expanding into almost like a really annoyingly catchy track, I think really works.
Yeah, these songs are like super fun and playful and weird and annoying and catchy.
Yeah.
And like T Errors sounds and feels just like something of like a weird like surrealist kids show. Like I'm hearing it and I'm like, this makes sense in like Pee-wee's Playhouse.
Yeah,
this
no, that's all of his music.
Over the garden wall. It's just like, this is just so fun and playful and weird, and I love it.
Yeah. I hope he releases more Micropop music over the next year. I hope we get an album at some point because I'm really excited to see where he takes the ideas of High Low and progresses them forward. After that, we got new King Gizzard and the Lizard Wizard with Fishing for Fishies and Boogeyman Slam. They have a new album coming out at the end of the month. And I'm excited because their previous single Side Boogie, they killed it. They brought us very synth heavy, psychedelic rock, and with these 2 new singles, they kind of take the atmosphere I really liked on my favorite cuts of Polygon Wonderland and Gumboot Soup. The very just like graceful, fun playfulness, especially Fishy for Fishies, which is my favorite of the 2, catchingly annoying and fun. I love the high-pitched vocals that we're getting from Stu at the beginning. The I just want fishes for fish, or something along the lines of that. Just very fun, like a back road drive kind of track. Something you can...
A little folksy.
Yeah, folky. Something you listen to on your car in the drive while you're going to the country.
Like when I drove here.
I don't live in the country.
You live country to me.
Is country just far away?
Yes.
Okay.
That's how I define the country. Is it far away from my house? Cincinnati is the country.
After that, we new Kirin J. Callinan with The Hole of the Moon. Actually, a cover of the song done by Waterboys, weirdly enough. Kirin J. Callinan returning after his 2017... I want to call it a smash hit, but there's more smash hits on it than Collective is. I think it's a good album, but I feel like there's just some elements that kind of trudge. But he's coming through with probably his best song to date. I feel like the lyricism, which is, I feel at certain times he either really excels through it on tracks like Bravado and Song and Trudge, or sometimes he just gets like lost in it, like a couple of the cuts on Bravado. But this new, I feel like since he doesn't have to focus on lyricism and he more gets to just be in a new environment and focus on his performance, I think it helps him out. This is by far his catchiest cut. Taking this Waterboys song that's, I feel like just kind of weird and kind of new wave, doesn't really do anything, and making it into this bold expression of just fun and just so deeply hard. It has like that cheesy 80s vibe to it,
so...
but it makes it its own. It is a reflection of Kirin J and Callinan, and I think it really works for him because Kirin J and Callinan's always an ARF beat, weird kind of like Eric Andre of like indie rock, and the fact that he's able to like turn that into something actually masterclass, I think really works.
It's like every 80s throwback song should actually be like.
Yeah, it has a lot of expression, a lot of character and charm, and it's one of my favorite singles of the year by far. I think it's just so catchy and inescapable. Every time I come back to this track, I think I'll not like it as much as my previous listen, and every time it blows me away. And I'm really hoping he puts out an album this year. Apparently this is attached to his next projects, and I'm really excited because we're going to have to get new material at some point, so I want to see how his writing style is. We're going to have to get a weird moment where he's like talking to some cowboy in the sky, or he's talking about how he's on all the drugs, or how he's like nutting on the chorus of a track. And how he's down to hang and all the metaphors of what he's down to hang like. I'm really excited. I hope it's good. I hope he improves on everything I really didn't care for on his last record. After that, Lizzo has a new cut off her forthcoming album. It's coming out real soon on April 19th, Cause I Love You. But this new track, Tempo with Missy Elliott. We haven't heard Missy Elliott in a while. She put out a fantastic single back in 2015, Where Are You From? And just kind of dipped. Hasn't really done anything of importance, or at least as great as that since. Lizzo is kind of showing her head in kind of that scene of Missy Elliott was this very strong, bold female pop artist, and I'm really excited to see where this goes. I think this is just a great collaboration. Two strong women just duking it out on a track. I think it's fantastic, and I don't really think I don't think I really have to say anything else. It's super sultry for a hip hop track, and that's all you need to know.
Pretty much covered it.
Bold expression and a lot of body acceptance, which is nice on a track. Moving forward, after that, we have Mac DeMarco, who has a new single, returning after Your Old Dog back in 2017, has a new track out, Nobody, from his forthcoming album, Here Comes the Cowboy, which comes out in May. This new track, he's talking about how just like he can't go back to being no one. In a sense, he's stuck being somebody, he's stuck being Mac DeMarco. Like, he can't escape his name, he can't escape being a celebrity. Has the vibe of a lot of the tracks, a lot of the album cut tracks that I really loved on on Your Old Dog. Tracks like Moonlight on the River and Fade Away. I'm watching him fade away. Another is what I meant. But this new track, it has the atmosphere of that, but it's not as intense with its lyricism, and it's nice, and it's a good introspective look, because I feel like when Mac DeMarco becomes introspective, it always works out well better than him just being kind of, I guess, flat and talking about romance, more or less. After that, we got a Proto Martyr with Jumbo's nice post-punk jam. They have a new album, No Passion, All Technique. I don't really want to talk about that because the album's just around the way. Yeah. But I like it. It's not their catchiest single to date. I think Don't Go to Anastasia. Don't Go to Anastasia is probably their better one of the singles. But I'm really excited to see where this album goes. Again, No Passion, All Technique on May 3rd. After that, Rico Nasty and Kenny Beats. We're getting a album by the two of them, and I'm really excited. That's Kenny on production, Rico raps. I'm really excited. This Rico Nasty track, Sandy. I don't know what to say. Rico Nasty is one of the boldest people in hip hop right now. She's kind of mending the gap of kind of like a bunch of different areas, being kind of like pop trap, but also at the same time like with enough edge and musk of like audiences of like Death Grips would enjoy. So like all these different areas kind of combining. She maybe will have a double XL freshman spot, and I hope she does, and I hope Gunna gets one, and then she beats the fuck out of Gunna because he deserves it, because he's terrible. But yeah, I'm really excited. This track is just, it's upfront, forward, punchy. You don't need anything else. It's all character. That's it, essentially. Just Rico Nasty is herself, and she's the boldest version of herself to date, especially in this track. And comparing it to her last album, Nasty, or last mixtape, Nasty, last year, this is what I was missing, was her. We didn't get enough of her, and now her and Kenny, who was the best producer in the last record, are combining together. So I'm really excited. They have a lot of chemistry together and a lot of camaraderie, and it's especially Rico and Zach Fox making fun of Kenny Beats on Twitter, which is the best thing ever. Yeah. Just how much they make fun of Kenny Beats. is the greatest thing.
It's amazing.
They won Twitter. I didn't think anyone could top Vince Staples winning Twitter, but just them making fun of
Poor
Kenny. I don't know if it's poor Kenny. I feel like he deserves it.
Maybe a little bit. No, I'm really glad that Rico and Kenny are doing like a lot of collaborations because like I don't think they've made a bad song together yet.
Yeah, all the tracks that they did on Nasty were the best cuts. It was more when like people like Take Keith would show up that would just get out weird, and then Block Boy B would just do the same verse.
And like all of her best like just standalone singles have been with Kenny.
Yeah. So yeah, I'm hoping it's good. Her album's Anger Management is supposed to come out this month sometime, so I'm really excited. After that, Tame and Impala have a new single, Patience. Not their best single. It sounds more like an album cut in my opinion. It reminds me of Currents, but more of like the deeper, more jam heavy moments of Currents, where it's just more like where the road was taking you more than the hooks. I'm kind of nervous about this new record because the new Pawn record, which Kevin Parker produced, was just terrible. It was just bland filler, and it was god awful psych rock. So I hope this thing is not god awful. But
that's my hope of like every album I listen to. I just don't want to listen to bad music.
Yeah, but like
you keep making me.
Because you deserve it. But their other performance they did in SNL recently kind of seemed like it was just kind of foreboding, and I hope maybe that was just how SNL, how hard of a stage it is to perform on there instead of just that track being really boring. Yeah, but this track Patience, it flows well. It's more about where the road takes you instead of the meaning behind the road.
Has there been like a good like SNL performance?
Give me a no. Kanye. Basically all the hip hop ones.
Yeah, that's it. Because
like if you're trying to jam on that stage, it doesn't
work. It's a tiny ass stage.
Yeah. Frank Ocean, but that's also hip hop. So yeah. After that we have we got new Tierra Whack tracks from I think she called last month Whack History Month. I don't know if that's a thing, but that's the greatest thing if it was actually called. But she put out a lot of singles. Some of them are just kind of like mingering and too close to previous ideas, but the ones I really enjoyed were Gloria and Unemployed. Quirky, R&B, and hip-hop. That's all you need to know. Tierra Whack making big moves in 2017. I like how she dropped a bunch of singles this year to follow up her release of Whack World. And she's also another rumor name for the XXL freshman list, so I hope she also gets in, and then her and Rico Nasty beat the shit out of Gunna, because he's terrible. He's just bad.
Everybody who gets in the XXL beat the shit out of Gunna.
Unless it's Little Baby, then I guess you have to beat up Little Baby as well.
See, like, yes, but like when you say it, like beat up the little baby.
Yeah.
It feels wrong.
You beat up the littlest baby.
Exactly. It feels wrong.
Yeah.
Even though, like, in this specific instance, we here at the Anthony and Todd should do not advocate child abuse towards babies. Beat up little baby.
Or Dub Baby. I don't have beef with Dub Baby, but
Dub Baby.
I'm assuming
the Boss Baby. I have all the beef with Boss Baby.
Trevor loves that movie to death.
Because Trevor has bad taste in movies.
After we got a new Tropical Fuckstorm single, The Planet of Straw Man, kind of just following up ideas of their last record, Laughing Death Meets Space. It's from a 7-inch of another record. Apparently the B-side of the 7-inch is going to be a Missy Elliot cover, so I'm really excited to see what the fuck that is. But yeah, just great political post-punk music. Nothing to say. It's kind of one of their most it's kind of one of their more underwhelming tracks to date, but it's also more about where this is going in the future, that it's from a forthcoming record. So
it's Tropical Fuckstorm being Tropical Fuckstorm.
Yeah, still very saturated, sharp, cutting, just lingering.
Some weird ass production bits towards the end.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's Tropical Fuckstorm being Tropical Fuckstorm. Yeah. It's exactly what you expect.
Yeah. After that, we got Ugly Dog with Little Pump.
Ugly God. You said dog.
What did I say?
You said Ugly Dog.
I have dyslexia.
You're just being a fucking idiot that you
have. The next track, Ugly Dog with Little Pump. Hello. Ugly God, I think in 2017 said he was going to put out real music following his Ugly God album. I think that's what it was called. And I don't know, because he was, to me, I think he was making real music, because you can't make fake music. So, but I guess comparing this which is now apparently real music, comparing to some of his more jokier tracks, which was like Water, Fuck Ugly God. Even those moments that are jokey aren't comedy, I would say, because Water's just stupid fun. That's all it is. But also, Fuck Ugly God's a nice critique of battle, or a nice critique of diss traps and how he's making fun of his own self and putting himself on the cutting room floor, which is really nice. Yeah. But this track, if this is where Ugly God's going, I'm fine with it because it's dumb fun trap.
Which is what you expect whenever Lil Pump is involved.
They actually have great chemistry together, and it's what I expect out of Lil Pump track, and this is what we're getting out of Ugly God, which is essentially just Lil Pump. I think he can do it because he's shown the ability to do it on tracks like Water. So I hope this is what we're getting from the future of Ugly God. And moving forward past the final track, these two Vampire Weekend singles off their forthcoming album, Father of the Bride, Sunflower with Steve Lacy, all people, and Big Blue. Steve Lacy of the internet, also a solo instrumentalist. I think this is like such a random encounter that like took a little bit to grow on me, because at first I didn't really like this track. I thought it was stupid. I didn't like the scales that were on it. I didn't like the do 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 do.
See, I liked that track a lot faster than I liked Big Blue.
Big Blue is like an album cut.
Yeah.
It's kind of the B-side, because with their previous single they had 2021, I think that's what it was called, was just like a short 1 minute track like this. So it seems more like they're putting like a B-side to an A-side single. But with this new track, I think Sunflowers is great. I think it's a weird collaboration that doesn't make any sense. A weird collaboration that you wouldn't expect but makes sense. Steve Lacy is kind of cut from the same cloth as Vampire Weekend. This weird kind of mix of like taking from funk jazz and world music production and kind of cutting from the same cloth, because that's all Vampire Weekend does, is they cut from world music and African polyrhythms and stuff like that. Like a Talking Heads like cloth. And Steve Lacy's also cut from that, and it's interesting to see him being kind of brought in the fold after only really putting out an EP under his own real name and working with the internet on their last two records. I think this is great. It's infectiously catchiest. It takes a lot to grow on you, in my opinion, but it's worth it. I'm really happy for Steve Lacy. He's going to be, I think, headlining the New York City Madison Square Garden show of Vampire Weekend. So is Angelique Kidjo. So yeah, they're opening for him. So I'm really excited for that.
Nice.
And that concludes this month's playlist. I hope you like it. I hope you found a new favorite track. And yeah, that's all I really say. I liked all these tracks, even though they're not, as I mentioned, some of these aren't as good as previous tracks by some of these artists. But I do think I really enjoyed all these tracks. And yeah, I hope you give them a listen. I hope you find a new favorite. Until next time, guys, I'm Vincent.
And I'm Jonathan.
And see you, boyos.